welcome back for those of you who have rolled on from the last term, I want to call it, and those who are new, who are joining us either live or watching the recording. Hello to you, thank you for being here. And we are continuing with our focus on these sessions being our me yoga club, which means it's all about you, and especially at this time of year, I think, I don't know about you, I'm feeling it already. The November craziness seems even worse this year. That kind of, it's getting dark, it's cold. Why have I suddenly got 300 deadlines and everyone's slightly lost the will to live already? So we're going to try and balance that out a little bit, and we are going to run all the way through the festive period, through January. I think our final class of this term is like beginning of February. So I really hope that you can make the time to just keep coming back, to your mat, to the practices, dropping in whenever you can, and just pressing the pause button on the madness. And I find that when I get a little bit agitated, a little bit like there's too much going on, I need to move. I mean, I have two options. I either want to sit on the sofa and drink wine, or I go the other way and I want to move. But I want to move in an appropriate way, shall we say. So for me, going to the gym, going for a run isn't necessarily the kind of moving I always want, because that's not enough of a pause button for me. I want to move, but do it mindfully. And the first yoga practice that I started to do back in the day was a practice called an Ashtanga practice, which you've probably heard of. And one of the reasons it really appealed to me was because it was a very specific placement of asana, of the yoga poses. It was very specific in how you used your breath. So you really had to, especially learning it for the first time, you really had to concentrate on what you were doing. And it meant that I then didn't have the headspace to think about all of that external stuff. And because I want that to kind of be the focus for our next 10 weeks, but this week we are going to have a little play with an Ashtanga style practice. Now, if you're watching this and you're hardcore Ashtanga, it's not going to be a proper primary series, but we're going to take elements of the Ashtanga practice and have a little play with them. We're going to do quite a lot of work with our breath through this next term as well. And there's been, in all of our previous classes, obviously we've talked about the power of the inhale and the exhale, and we have synchronized our movements to the inhale or the exhale. But I want us to have a little play now with a specific type of breathing, and it's associated with Ashtanga, but it's used for lots of different types of yoga practices. And it's a kind of breath called the Ujjayi breath. And we will have a little play with it in a moment. But breath and body so deeply intertwined in our yoga practices, and you will know that. You would have felt it. Your body responds to your breath and vice versa. So we want this strong connection with our breath when we're on the mat, because when we're off the mat, the power of being able to literally stop, pause, take an inhale, take an exhale, do it mindfully is so potent. When we, very briefly, we have a nervous system, which I'm sure you're only too well aware of. Our nervous system has a parasympathetic side and a sympathetic side. So when we breathe, we can directly influence our nervous system. So our parasympathetic side is what's sometimes called like the rest and digest side. So that's the kind of state you are in when you are calm, relaxed, chilled out, pottering along, life is good, all is well. Say good evening to the cat. See you later. She's very much in parasympathetic nervous system a lot of the time. Your sympathetic nervous system is the flip side of that coin, and that's quite often called the fight or flight mode. So the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system kicks in when you wake up in the middle of the night and you think you've heard a burglar downstairs, or you're leaping to help someone who you think is being threatened. You know, it's that state when the heart rate goes up, your pupils dilate, you become stronger, you become more agile, you are literally ready to fight for your life or get the hell out of there. Now, unfortunately, so that sympathetic response is brilliant for those times when we think there might be a burglar, or you need to lift a car off a granny. I don't know. But in those moments of crisis, of heightened awareness of a real need to be strong and quick, sympathetic nervous system, brilliant. However, for most of us, our benchmark is a chronic level of that sympathetic nervous system being elevated. And so much, it's been so chronic that we don't really realize it. So for a lot of us, we are running on that higher level of nervous system kind of all the time, because our bodies and our insides are pretty much the same as they were thousands and thousands of years ago, when we were living in caves, when we were hunter-gathering, you know, in those early days when we needed to fight a woolly mammoth or punch a tiger, whatever, not just for fun. I mean, anyway. But so those systems haven't changed. We can still go from parasympathetic to sympathetic, but most of us get triggered. That sympathetic nervous system gets triggered now when we watch the news, when we try and find a parking space in Sainsbury's, when we are in a queue in Iceland, when, you know, all those little things, when we're in a shitty meeting at work. The sympathetic nervous system is still triggered, but it sustains. It's not peaking and troughing as the body needs it to. So we're pretty much running on that kind of high rev without noticing it. Purpose of telling you all this is a way of tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system is through the breath. If we can breathe mindfully and deeply and with a good, equal, balanced breath, we can tap straight into that parasympathetic nervous system, turn it on, switch off sympathetic, which is what we practice when we're on our mats. When we're doing our asana practice and it gets a little challenging, if we can keep the breath even and balanced, we can take that skill and take it into our life. We can turn that switch and the body goes, oh yeah, I remember how to do this. I remember how to modify my breath, which will in turn balance out the nervous system. So there's a reason why we do all this, if you were wondering. Now, back to the ujjayi breath, which is the breath that we are going to try and have a little play with and sustain through our practice. Now, the good news is you already know how to do your ujjayi breath because you can whisper. So I want you to get yourself sitting comfortably if you are not there already. Maybe on a cushion or a folded up blanket, whatever is good for you. Make sure you're nice and cozy, by the way. We're not going to be here long, but don't want you getting cold whilst we're sitting. I'm actually quite cold. I'm going to get my blanket because why not? So sit yourselves comfortably and just begin to notice your breath. Just notice cool air coming in. Notice the warm air going out. Notice it at the tips of your nostrils as it comes in and as it goes out. And then just mindfully notice kind of its journey. Notice as the inhale goes from the tips of the nostrils to the back of the nose, down past the back of the mouth, the throat, into the lungs, and then just be aware of it making its return journey. And what you're going to do is you're going to restrict the breath slightly at the back of the throat. We're going to make this audible breath that we can hear, but very subtly. So what I want you to do, first of all, is just say anything out loud to yourself, but do it in a whisper. You can talk about what you had for breakfast today, count from 1 to 10, but I won't whisper because you won't be able to hear me. Just feel that kind of whooshing of the air at the back of your throat. Good. Now, hold your hand up, or don't, and imagine, you can either imagine that you are doing a fresh breath test, or I like to imagine that you're steaming up a mirror. So to do that, you would go, yeah? So imagine you're steaming up a mirror, and you can hear that noise. It's kind of like a sort of, it's not as harsh as Darth Vader breath, and that's slightly unromantic way of thinking about it. You can think of it as kind of an ocean wave breaking on a shore, or wind in the trees, if you're feeling a little more poetic about it. But as you hear that noise of your breath. Now I want you to steam the mirror again on the out breath, but close your lips halfway through, and you'll still be making the noise in the back of the throat. So start steaming your mirror, then close the lips, and you'll hear the kind of whooshing of the air still at the back of your throat. Now, what you're actually doing is there's a bit of a restriction there, but I don't want you to kind of do that intentionally because we don't want it to become a rasping tightness there. So have another go. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth with the noise. Then close the lips. And again, breathe in through the nose. Start sighing. Then close the mouth. And it's really just the lips you want to close. You don't want to, I'm trying not to say close the mouth because I don't want you to bring tension into the jaw. So again, in through the nose. Sigh. You may not be able to hear my breath from there. So that is half of your ujjayi breath. It's that soft noise. But now we need to do it on the inhale as well. So to do that, I want you to again start as you did before with the mouth open breath. Close the lips for the half of the exhale. Then inhale through the nose. And see if you can find a way of just making that same noise with the inhale through the nose. And then exhale. Have another go. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Keep going, having a little play with that. Now, if at any point doing the ujjayi breath doesn't feel comfortable, or it feels like it's stressing the body, or it gives you a bit of a head rush, just go back to your normal breathing. This is not kind of rigid, you have to be doing this kind of breath. We're just having a little play. If you lose it, go back to the sigh with the open mouth. Close the lips, finish the breath. Then try and make that same noise as you breathe in. It's tricky. You need to play with it a little bit. Now keep going. There are a few reasons why we use this audible breath in our asana practices. First of all, it helps improve our concentration because it gives the mind another thing to focus on. The noise can really be an anchor for the mind to come back to. It can help the flow of the poses because we are always inhaling and doing something, exhaling, doing something else. So that audible flow can really bring a bit more fluidity to the poses. Because it's audible, it can also bring in a meditative quality to the practice because you are listening to this noise. And if you are in a room full of other people doing this same breathing pattern, it can be really powerful. If you go to an Ashtanga class, for example, and everyone is doing this ujjayi breath, the energy of the room it's quite amazing. It regulates heat in the body. It is said that this ujjayi breath actually heats you from the inside out. I do not know if there has been any scientific studies of this. I will find them. But it says that ujjayi breath warms you from the inside out. So therefore it helps the body be more flexible, helps you to practice safely. And it also helps you kind of regulate the effort that you are putting in. We often talk about the fact that the breath is there to help you negotiate with your body and to help you know if you are pushing too hard. And if you've got an audible breath, it's very easy to recognize if you're pushing too hard because the breath goes and you can hear it as well as feel it. So that is your ujjayi breath. And let it go if you're still doing it. And like I say, we are going to try and sustain it through the practice today. You will forget about it. It will go, but that's all part of the fun. And we are going to follow, again, a slightly different kind of practice. We're going to follow, like I say, an Ashtanga themed practice. What that means is when we get into it, the poses you hold for 5 breaths, 5 ujjayi breaths. And it's a really interesting way of practicing because you're not flowing in and out. You actually have time to sort of explore the pose. You have 5 breaths. So you can get into the pose with your first breath, settle with the second breath, see if there's any room to expand or go deeper on the third breath, experiment with that on the fourth. The 5th could be your maximum expression of the pose, and then you're out of it and into the next one. Obviously, I will talk you through it all, but we'll see how we go. It will be fun. So we're just going to take a moment to settle and ground ourselves with a little bit more breath focus, and then we'll just be here for like a minute or two, and then we'll start to move. So if you're not sitting comfortably, you want to move, of course you can lie down for this bit as well. If you want to start in your shavasana, that is totally fine. So either lie down or sit, and once you're settled, let your eyes gently fall closed. And just take a normal breath in. Don't do the ujjayi breath for a minute. Just breathe in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Good. Again, breathe in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Lovely. One more just like that. Breathe in through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. And now just let your breath be normal. If it wants to be deep, let it be deep. If it wants to be shallow, let it be shallow. And just get a sense of arriving into this space, into this time. And for a moment, tuning in, or starting to tune in. Notice how you feel as a whole. Notice what your energy levels are like. Notice what kind of mood you're in. And remember, there's no right or wrong way to feel. Just allow whatever there is there to be felt fully. Start to tune in to your breath. Again, still just a normal breath. Remember, the breath is there to help you negotiate with your body. It's there to help you know if you are trying too hard or pushing too much. And it's there to help bring you back into this moment. Bringing you back into this moment means you press the pause button on all of that external stuff. Of course, that will come and that will go, but that's why it's called a practice, because we notice when the mind has wandered and we gently bring it back. And we bring it back by bringing it back to the inhale or the exhale. So now as you sit or lie here, see if you can once again connect with your ujjayi breath. It's interpreted as victorious breath in some translations. So whilst it's not forced or exaggerated, it has a feeling of connecting you to not only the core of yourself, but to the energy of the practice. In yoga philosophy, the breath is the physical manifestation of the power, the energy that runs through us all, that allows us to exist, of the prana that is in us. So this victorious breath should make you feel just like something is switching on the inside, like there's just a little something going on. Keep that connection to your breath. Either bring the hands into a prayer shape, or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Still with the eyes closed, take a moment to set your intention for your practice. So know how you want to feel as you move through the poses. Know how you want to feel when you step off the mat and go back into your day. Know what you need the practice to do for you right here, right now. Set your intention, but remain open-minded to the other good, positive stuff that may well come along. With your intention set, you can let the hands come down. You can gently blink the eyes open and make your way slowly onto your hands and knees. If you're on your back, just roll over onto your side. Make slow, mindful movements to get yourself onto your hands and knees. And of course, as we start to move, remember that your body is your responsibility. So if something doesn't feel good, don't push it, don't force it. Work to the edge of your comfort zone, but be compassionate and mindful of your own body. This is not about fighting yourself or pushing yourself. This is working intelligently. So notice if something's ouchy, if something hurts, stop, back off, work sensibly. You're sensible people. I don't need to tell you that. I'm just reminding you. So come onto your hands and knees and wiggle your way to the back of your mat to begin with. And we'll just start to breathe and move. So let's start with some cat and cows to get us going. So hands under shoulders, big shoulder width apart with your hands. Knees just under your hips with an inhale, let the spine dip down, pull the chest forwards, gaze goes up. And with the exhale, tuck the chin, arch the back, tuck the tailbone. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Keep going. So we're really just starting to get breath and body connected. Inhale to the cow. Exhale to the cat. Nice evenness of movement. That ujjayi breath, just loud enough for you to hear. Good. And then come to neutral. Take your bum back to your heels and take a child's pose for a moment. Stretch the hands out in front of you. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale down into the belly. Exhale. Let it go. Good. One more like that. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Let it go. Let's move again. Inhale, come forwards to a high plank, half a plank. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, push back. Exhale into child's pose. Inhale again, come forwards. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, push back. Exhale, child's pose again. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, push back. Exhale, bum to heels. Good. Come to your downward facing dog. So slide your hands forwards a little bit, tuck the toes, down dog. If you're not quite ready for down dog, stay in child's pose, a couple of extra breaths. Just in your first downward facing dog, give it a slow walk on the spot if that feels good. Easing the heels down to the floor, feeling long through the spine. And one way or another, bring the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, push down through feet, come all the way up, reach to your ring fingers. Exhale, pull the arms down. Couple of half sunnies. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. Again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. One more, setting the rhythm for our practice. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up, push through feet. Exhale, arms down. Some sunny A's now, same rhythm of the breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, both feet back, knees down, chest down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now you're going to be in your down dog for 5 breaths. Find your ujjayi breath and pause for 3, 4, and 5. Bend your knees, look at the space between the hands, bring the feet into it. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. One thing I forgot to say, you'll feel as we go through these sunnies that you may run out of your exhale, like before the feet come back, or you may run out of breath. If you need to put extra breaths in whilst we're still getting accustomed to the breathing and moving, totally fine. Better to put a breath in than hold your breath. Don't want that. But I'm just telling you the kind of the breath cues so that you can see how this will go eventually. But because we're not moving as quickly through some of the transitions, some of these transitions you would do on one breath, but you'll feel that's quite a long breath. So if you need to put an extra breath in, it's fine. It will all become clear the further we get through the practice. Another sunny A. Find your starting point. Nice and even through the feet. On your next inhale, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, feet back, come down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Settle into your dog. Spread the fingers wide. Push the front of the mat forwards and down. Push the feet backwards and down, and find that metronome of your breath. So the breath gets into the same rhythm it had when you were doing your half sunnies. Ujjayi breath if you can. End of your exhale. Bend your knees. Look at the space between your hands. Take your feet into it. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. One more like that. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, feet back, come down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. End of your exhale, bend your knees, feet come towards the hands, inhale halfway up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull the arms down. Now some sunny bees. Bend the knees, sit in your imaginary chair, and with the inhale, scoop the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards and down. Inhale, halfway up, just like before. Exhale, hands down, feet back, body down. Inhale, middle cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now step your right foot forwards, turn the left heel down. Inhale, reach up, warrior 1. Just here for 1 breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, come down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot forwards, turn and ground your right heel. Inhale, reach up again, just here for 1 breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, all the way to the floor. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. Again, you're here for 5 breaths. So settle into it. Set that metronome rhythm of your breath. Of course, if you need to come to child's pose, that's totally fine. If 5 breaths in down dog's a bit much tonight, for whatever reason, you can mix it up with child's pose whenever you need. That's your 5 breaths, I reckon. End of your exhale, bend the knees, bring the feet in towards the hands. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Sit in your imaginary chair and inhale, come up, keep the knees bent. Exhale, pull the arms down. Again, inhale, swoop the fingers across the floor and reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands down, feet back, come down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forwards, left heel grounds. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, step back, all the way down with control. Inhale, middle cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forwards, right heel down. Inhale, reach up, push down through the feet. Exhale, hands down, step back, come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. So it may feel that it's getting a little more challenging to keep that metronome quality of the breath, particularly in your down dog now. You can see, you can hear mine sped up. But this is the challenge. Can you get that breath back under control? Can you keep your ujjayi breath a soft, victorious breath, not rasping or too tight? End of your exhale, bend the knees. Look at the space between your hands, bring your feet into it. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, push down to rise up. Exhale, pull the arms down, one more like that. Inhale, bend the knees, lift up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway up and lengthen. We're going to take both feet back and come down on the exhale. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forwards, left heel down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down, step back all the way to the floor. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forwards, right heel down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, step back, come down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. Can you get it under control? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, bring the feet into the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Sit in your imaginary chair. Inhale, reach up into your Utkatasana. Straighten the legs, lower the arms. Lunge sunnies now. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Find that rhythm. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down, come all the way down to your belly. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Take the right foot up, bend the knee, roll the hip open with an inhale. Exhale, step the right foot forwards, bring the left knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, straight back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right foot back, come down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot up, roll the hip open with the inhale. Exhale, left foot forwards, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, right foot forwards. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Straight back down with the exhale. One more time around. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step to your high plank, come down with control. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg up, roll the hip open with the inhale. Exhale, left foot forwards, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, straight back down. One more side to go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, high plank, knees down, chest down. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot up, roll the hip open. Exhale, step it forwards, bring the left knee down, sorry. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, step forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms by your side. Good. Bring your hands into a prayer shape just for a moment. Bring the feet hip width apart and close your eyes. If that makes you wobble, leave a little slither of light visible. Just pause. Get the breath back under control if it is speeded up. Now, without moving, I am going to talk you through a half sun salutation. I don't want you to move. I want you to imagine that you are doing it in your mind's eye. Just get the Ujjayi breath back in sync. So imagine. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, you fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Again, imagine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms down. One more, just imagining. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Good. Gently blink your eyes open. Bring your hands down by your sides. Keep that connection to your breath. Step your feet hip width apart if they are not there already, and bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen your whole spine. Now exhale, put some bend in your knees, just fold forwards. Hook your first two fingers around your two big toes. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine again. Then exhale, take a forwards fold. Let the head hang. Keep some softness in your knees. And find your breath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep the grip. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands on your hips. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, feet together back at the front of your mat. Now to our triangle pose. Inhale, step out to the right, bring your arms with you. Turn your left foot in 45 degrees, turn your right foot out 90 degrees. Inhale, get broad across the chest. Take the left hand behind you, and with an exhale, reach out over the right leg. Then bring your right hand down, maybe to the shin, maybe to the floor, maybe to a block. Roll your rib cage open. And if it's comfortable to do so, take your left hand up to the sky. Your triangle pose for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3. If you can, your first 2 fingers hook around your big toe, but that is not important. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, you come up. Exhale, turn the feet the other way. Back foot in 45 degrees, front foot out 90. Inhale, broad across the chest, take the right hand behind you. Then exhale, reach out over that front leg. And again, bring that left hand down to somewhere, either on the shin, to the ankle, to the foot, to the floor, to a block. Hook the big toe, whatever is good for you. Spin the ribs open. If it's good to do so, reach the right arm straight up. And find your breath, she says, falling over. So just like the other side, you have 5 breaths here. First breath, you might just settle in. Second breath, maybe you scan the body. Third breath, maybe see if you can go a little deeper. Fourth breath, maybe a little more engagement in the legs. Fifth breath, can you be still? Inhale all the way up. Good, now bring your hands onto your hips and turn and face the back of your mat. So your right foot is now in front and the left foot is behind. Feet are on 2 parallel lines. Right hand on your right hip. We're going to do reverse triangle pose. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, fold forwards at the hips. Reach out through that left hand. Now bring the left hand down. Again, it could be on the floor or on a block. It could be left hand to your right shin. Left hand could be on a block outside your right foot. Turn the ribs and maybe take the right hand up to the ceiling. You can look up if that's good for your neck. If not, just keep looking down. Now ground the base of the right big toe. Spin the ribs around. Keep strong in the back leg. And remember, you have 5 delicious, savory breaths. So experiment with each breath. Find that metronome quality. End of your breath, look down. Inhale, come back up. Bring your block with you if you've used it. Turn and face the other way, which is probably now the front. Take a moment to settle yourself. Turn the right foot in, turn the left foot out. Feet are on 2 parallel lines. Be aware of any low-hanging walls. Left hand on your left hip. Ground through the back foot and inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, reach out over that left leg. Then bring the right hand down to somewhere. Maybe it comes down to the floor on the inside of the left foot. Maybe it rests on the left shin, or maybe the hand comes to the outside of the left foot and rests on a block. Now spin your belly button to the left. Push down through that right hand to give you a bit of gentle leverage and see if you can twist the ribs to your right. And then settle yourself in for those 5 amazing, balanced, powerful breaths. Remember the Ujjayi breath, victorious breath. So even if you feel like a wobbly, melted piece of Toblerone right now, let the breath tell you a different story for 4 and 5. Exhale, look down. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Then bring your feet together, back at the front of your mat. So in our Ashtanga practice, every time we finish a set of poses, you come back to the front. Coming back to the front to this pose here, it's a bit like kind of what I describe as kind of like shaking your Etch-a-Sketch. That reference only works for people of a certain generation. And it's very depressing when I say it and I get the blank looks back. So it's like clearing the residue. It's like Control-Alt-Delete, if that's a better analogy. It's starting with a clean sheet of paper, so we come to the front. I brought my block with me. You can bring yours too if you've got it. We're going to step out to the right again. So with an inhale, step out and make that first step as powerful as your Ujjayi breath. Feet are a bit wider this time. Turn the left foot in, turn the right foot out. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee. Choices here. Bring your elbow to the thigh, or bring your hands to the floor or to a block on the outside of the right foot. Then inhale, take the left arm up, and exhale, reach over your left ear. Spin the ribs up. If your hand is on the floor, wherever you're doing actually, keep rolling that right knee out to the right hand side. Remember, you've got 5 breaths. So again, switch that metronome on. Scan the body. See if you can go a little deeper in the legs. Can you spin the ribs a little more? Can you reach a little more through the left hand for 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, strongly up. Turn the feet the other way. Inhale, good victorious breath. Exhale, bend your left knee, either elbow to knee or hands to floor or to block outside the left knee. Take the right arm up and over and make that nice long diagonal line. Think of spinning the bottom ribs underneath you. That's 2 breaths. 3, 4, and 5. Push down through the feet. Inhale. Bring yourself up. Good. Turn to the back of your mat. Bring your left knee down to the floor. I'm just going to turn so that you can see me. So left knee is down. Right foot is in front of you. We're going to do a modified, twisted version of that pose. Inhale, bring your left arm up. Now exhale, twist and bring your elbow onto your right knee. Then bring the hands into prayer, point your right elbow up to the ceiling. Push down through your right hand so that you can spin your ribs and get a nice twist. Ground down through both feet and settle in for your 5 breaths. So remember, first breath to settle. Second breath, maybe you scan the body. Third breath, maybe go a little deeper. Fourth breath, maybe you just settle. And pause for your 5th. Good, gently unravel. Then with one breath, inhale, reach up, and exhale, pivot, and turn the other way. So your right knee is now down on the floor, left hand on the left knee. Inhale, right arm up, exhale, take it across. Hands into prayer, settle into the pose, both feet ground down. As you push down to the left hand, you can perhaps encourage the ribs around a little more, but remember you've got 5 breaths. Breath doesn't think anything has changed since your sun salutations. It's still in that same rhythm. It's a little bit restricted because you're in a twist, but it's still that even inhale and exhale. Good. Release, unravel yourself. Come all the way back up to stand, then bring your feet together back at the front of your mat. Samastihiti once more. Inhale, step out to the right. Feet about wrist distance apart, hands on your hips. Turn the toes in a little, turn the heels out so that the outer edges of your feet are parallel to the short edges of your mat. Hands on your hips, find your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, get long through the spine. Exhale, fold at your hips. You're taking a wide-legged forward fold. Hands can be on the floor or can be up on blocks or on a chair. Inhale, lift the heart, switch the legs on, and exhale, forward fold. Hands are on the floor if they can be, middle finger pointing forwards, and it's almost like your hands are like downward dog hands. They're spread and they're active. Now find your breath. That Ujjayi victorious breath, again, hips in. You set the metronome. You could even imagine that you are doing sun salutations whilst you're in this pose. Those imaginary sun salutations, that inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 5 glorious Ujjayi breaths. Next, inhale, come up to your fingertips and look forwards. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, and pause. Inhale, arms out, shoulder height. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. This time your hands stay on the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soft knees. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, pause. One more version. Inhale, take the arms out. Exhale, take the hands behind you and interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, fold forwards with the fingers interlaced. And again, find your Ujjayi breath. Keep the fingers interlaced if you can. For 2, 3, 4. And 5. Inhale, soft knees, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Just take an inhale and an exhale. Good, then one way or another, bring the feet together. You can wiggle or jump or drag them in. Shift the weight into your left leg. Left hand on your left hip. Find something to look at that isn't going to move. If you feel particularly wobbly, you can have your hand on a piece of furniture or rest your elbow against the wall. With an inhale, bring your right knee up. Hold around the front of the right knee, or if you can, hook the big toe with the first 2 fingers, or take the leg out in front of you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale. Exhale, take the leg out to the side. You can keep doing this with a bent knee if you need. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg back to center. And then release the leg. Bring both hands on your hips. Bend the knee if you need to, but keep the leg up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, mine was getting slowly lower. Shift the weight into the right leg. Strong standing leg. Make sure you're using your core. Inhale. Bring the right leg, left leg up. Don't bring the right leg up. Hold around the knee. Or first 2 fingers, big toe. Or take the leg out. 5, 4, 3. Don't forget your Ujjayi breath. 2. And 1. Take an inhale. Exhale. Take whatever you've got hold of. Out to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to center. Both hands on the hips. Lift the foot or lift the knee for 5, 4, 3. Get up, leg. 2. And 1. Oh dear, this gravity was strong. Bring yourself back to the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart. Drop the shoulders, turn your palms. Just take an inhale. And an exhale. Let us get to the floor through a sun salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, soft knees, fold down. Reconnect with your breath. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, both feet back, down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take an inhale and an exhale. Good, bend your knees, bring yourself through to a sitting position, however you can. Both legs out in front of you. Now, if you've got particularly tight hamstrings, I recommend that you have your bum up on a block or on a cushion, just to give yourself a little bit more space to move. If your toes are a very long way away, you can use a blanket or a towel, anything to help you find a connection with them. However, I want you to pull the toes back towards you and sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale, ujjayi breath, and an exhale. Inhale, reach your both arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, lift your chest up. And then exhale, take a forward fold. And then you have 5 breaths here. So again, same principle as before. Use the first breath to settle in. Maybe use the second breath to scan the body. If you can reach the feet, you can hold the feet or hook the first fingers around the 2 big toes. But remember, you are negotiating with each breath. Only going as far as feels just the right side of challenging for your body. Remember, as soon as the breath goes, you're probably pushing too hard, or you need to bring yourself back into the moment. One more breath. Keep your hands where they are and inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. And exhale, release. Now bend your knees and bring your feet flat on the floor. Scoot your bum towards them a little bit. Turn the fingers so they face your bum cheeks. And lift the heart with an inhale. Exhale, lean back a little bit into the elbows. Now you're going to lift your hips up into the air. So push the feet down, lift the hips up as high as you can. You can keep the chin tucked to your chest or let the head drop back, whatever feels best for you. But keep your thrust through the hips for 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, slowly come down. Oh, that's a killer for me, I'm not going to lie. We're going to have a go at a little thing called a vinyasa. What I want you to do, I want you to cross your shins over, tuck your feet underneath you, hug the knees up into your chest, and then with a little bit of momentum, see if you can roll over your ankles, push down through the hands, and end up with your feet back behind you. Come down onto your belly. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your knees down, one way or another. Come to a sit. Now keep the left leg out in front of you. Bend the right knee, bring it up, and then let the knee drop out to the side. Bring the sole of the right foot to stand along the inside of your left thigh. And then just make sure that your pelvis isn't at an angle. Just turn your pelvis so that it's looking down your left leg. That may mean that you need to take the right foot a little further down the left leg, but that's fine. Keep the toes of the left foot up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen your spine. And with an exhale, tip yourself forwards and start to bend forwards, out and down the left leg. But same principle as the straight-legged forward fold we just did. Keep lifting with the inhale, softening with the exhale, and remember you have 5 breaths here. Let the hands rest anywhere on the left leg they can. You might need a strap or a towel, that's fine. Or you can hold the foot, and you're just letting that right knee gently drop down towards the floor. Keep the shoulders soft. And find that metronome quality of your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, release and swap the legs. Gently let the right leg straighten out. Bend the left knee. Then let the knee drop out to the side and let the sole of the left foot just kind of stand along the right thigh. And again, just look at your pelvis. If it's off at an angle, turn the pelvis so that it's pointing down the right leg. If that means you need to move the left foot, then that's fine. Inhale, lift the heart and lengthen. Exhale. Think of taking your chest forwards. So you're not dropping nose to knee and rounding your back. You're kind of going out and forwards and then maybe a little bit down, but settle in and find the breath. That's 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lift your heart and lengthen. Exhale, release. We're going to have another little go at a vinyasa. If you want to skip it, that's totally fine. So you cross your shins, get the heels as close as you can to your bum cheeks and let the knees squeeze in so you make yourself into a tight little ball. Then with a little bit of momentum, roll over your ankles, push down with the hands so you can shoot the feet back, come down with control. Inhale, little cobra. Exhale, a cleansing breath in your downward facing dog. Then knees down and bring yourself to lie down on your back. One little bridge pose is all that stands between you and your Shavasana. So bring the heels up to your bum as you lie down. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. So take out that curve at the base of your spine. With an inhale, lift the spine up away from the floor. Hands can be underneath you, interlace the fingers, and you can take a little shimmy on the shoulder blades. Pause here and breathe. Now keep the hips lifted high. And again, for the final pose, find that victorious breath. Doesn't have to be super loud, just loud enough for you to hear and connect with. Feel it bringing those final bits of energy into this pose, energizing it from the feet into the hips, through the belly, into the chest. One more breath. And exhale, slowly roll down. Pause here for a moment. Feel how good it feels to not be moving. And then when you're ready, take your Shavasana shape. So of course, if lying flat on your back doesn't work for you for whatever reason, then you can use props. You can lie on your side. You can do this final relaxation sitting up if you prefer. If you're on your back, let the feet fall apart. Let your palms turn up to the sky. And now let go of your Ujjayi breath. Take a big breath just in through the nose and sigh out. Good. And again, big breath in through the nose. And sigh. One more big breath in through the nose. And sigh. Now let the breath do whatever it wants to do. If it wants to be deep, let it be deep. If it wants to be shallow, let it be shallow. Allow yourself to sink a little deeper into the earth with each exhale. Soften the jaw, soften the eyes, soften the shoulders. Release your bum cheeks. Let the legs feel heavy. And for the next few moments, allow yourself to just rest in peace and stillness. And I will tell you when it's time to move on. But for now, just be still and breathe. Stay exactly as you are. But notice where your mind may have wandered to and gently bring it back. Before you move, just take another moment to notice how you feel as a whole. Notice what you are feeling, and if there is something good there, allow it to be fully felt. Allow it to radiate up to the top of your head, down to the tips of your toes, out to the ends of your fingers. Then begin to bring a little movement into the body by taking some deeper breaths, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, rotating wrists and ankles. When you're ready, roll onto your side and push yourself up to a seated position. You can have your hands in a prayer if that feels good. Remember the intention you set back at the beginning of our time together. Remember how you wanted to feel and breathe life back into that intention with a big inhale. And let it go with the exhale. Namaste.